We're going to repair these really cool stainless steel wrapped garden hoses. In this case, the end piece, which is the male piece that screws into like a sprayer nozzle, is broken. So what you do is you cut it off nice and smooth. I use a cutting wheel on a grinder, makes a nice smooth cut. And you're going to use a couple of components. First, you're going to have a 3/4 inch male here with a barbed stop on it. You're going to use a 1/2 inch shrink wrap, which is going to be inserted over the hose inside. And then you're going to use a 3/4 inch shrink wrap, which is going to go on the outside. And I'll show you the sequence. The first thing we do is we put the 3/4 inch, make sure it's in position. You can slide it down here because you don't need it right now. And then we're going to use the 1/2 inch. We're going to slide it over the interior expandable rubber hose. And when it comes to the barbed component here, you want to insert the plastic hose just to the end of the barbed area here. This area which is not barbed, we're going to run the shrink wrap over that so it snugs down and holds it really tight, and it will not allow this to pop off when the water pressure's on. All right, so here's the sequence. We're ready to go. Give it a little bit of good lubrication here. Put it in. We're only going to slide it up to approximately the end of the barb area, about right here. So can you see that? Here's the end of the hose here, and there's this area of exposed non-barbed component. Now we're just going to slide this piece of 1/2 inch shrink wrap over, and it's fairly snug, which is what you want. So we're just going to kind of work it gently until we get it over the area. It's going to take a minute. You just kind of work it gently. Okay, so now we are ready to go. All right, so I've got the hose inside. The hose goes to where the barbs are, and then this other part of the shrink wrap is going to snug down on the knob barred portion of this component. So I've got my heat gun. I'm going to turn it on about medium. Let it heat up for just a minute. And we're going to shrink this down real tight. It does get hot. So you just want to kind of rotate it around the top here. Make sure it gets good and tight, and you'll see it begin to shrink. Okay, so that's nice and hot, and you can see how it's really shrinking down, very, very snug, and you are not able to pull that off. It is so tight. So even under high water pressure, it's not going to pull off. Okay, so that part's done. Now we're going to gently slide this portion over this because it's shrunk. Okay, you can turn it on now. Okay, so you'll notice it's really, really tight. And so the wrap of the stainless steel is going clockwise. So what you want to do is turn this barb counterclockwise and push in, and that kind of loosens the tension on the stainless steel. And I'm going to move it until it gets to about the same position that the interior plastic hose was. You want about 1/4 inch there. You see that? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our exterior 3/4 inch heat wrap. We're going to put it all the way to the end, and now we're just going to follow the same sequence. I'm going to put the heat on it, and you can see it's already beginning to shrink down. And make sure and rotate it so that it all gets shrunk at the same approximate strength and tension. And you won't melt this stuff, but you don't want to overheat it. You want it just enough to where it really begins to snug down, and as it cools, it will continue to tighten. Okay, so I think I'm liking that. It looks about right, because you can now see all the definition created as the heat shrink has tightened down over the stainless steel wrapping, and that is hot, and over the area where we left open. You can see it's really shrunk down here. That's going to kind of grab it tight and prevent it from pulling off of this barb. So when it cools down, there's your repair. And instead of buying another $50 hose for about $6, you fixed it. So there you go.